Hi all. Today we'll be discussing on the design of beam. Okay, this is another module. Okay, whatever the discussed uh, in the previous sessions, that is analysis of beam, we have done. Still we have not discussed on the T beam as well as the shear strength of RC sections. Okay, here we'll be designing a beam of size as we required, and the load applied on the beam is 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, and the span of beam is 5 meter. Okay, M20 and Fe415 to be used. For example, if you are going to construct a home, okay, there obviously will be having the structural elements like slab, beam, column, footing. Okay, so based on the load calculation, okay, we got a load on the beam is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, as the previous three videos I uploaded to calculate load on a building frame. Okay, that is analysis of building frame manually, how to analyze. Okay, you may ask from where you got this 10 kilonewton per meter. Okay, here the problem is given to you, either you may analyze manually or especially for your academics, if problem is given to you, in that case you will be getting the problems. Okay, based on that I must write a given data what exactly given in the problem. Okay, in that here he has given clear span L is equal to 5 meter, and load he has given, that is live load, okay, that is equal to 10 kilonewton per meter, and the grade of concrete, that is nothing but FCK is equal to 20 newton per mm square, and grade of steel is equal to 415 newton per mm square. Okay, this is all about the given data in the problem. Okay, here he has not mentioned the size of beam. Suppose, okay, here the problem is in this manner. The clear span is equal to 5 meter, and the live load applied on the beam is nothing but it is 10 kilonewton per meter. Live load is nothing but whatever the load coming from the slab is treated as a live load on the beam. Okay, here we have not taken the self weight of the beam. Okay, that will be a dead load. Okay, before that you need to design. Okay, for example, when we have a beam, under the force, whatever the applied force, the beam may tends to bend in this direction. Okay, it may tends to bend in this direction. Okay, you need to avoid this bending, or you need to resist this bending action by providing the reinforcement as well as sufficient dimensions of the beam. Okay, so dimensions need to be provided as well as the appropriate reinforcement need to be calculated. This we call it as a design. Okay, so bending is a problem, we are finding the solution for that. Okay, so that we call it as the design of a beam. Design is nothing but fixing the dimensions as well as resisting the moment, whatever the moment is coming over that one. Not only moment, okay, we are finding solution for bending moment, shear force as well as the deflection. Okay, as we have discussed earlier, okay, three parts we have discussed earlier, that is strength, stiffness and ductility. Okay, mainly the strength is nothing but to avoid whatever the bending moment, that is it depends on the grade of concrete and grade of steel. Stiffness is okay, when the dimensions are fixed B and D properly, in that case we can provide the stiffness that avoids the deflection, and ductility will be providing the stirrups, or you might have seen the rings, stirrups or rings in the beam. Okay, that will leads to the ductility and it avoids the shear force of a beam. Okay, when we find solution for these three problems, easily you can call it as the perfect design. Okay, here in this figure you can see the beam which is having the breadth B, D and these are the main reinforcement, that is AST, these are the stirrups. Okay, to avoid this bending, I'll be finding these things. I'll be fixing breadth, depth, as well as here you can see these dots are there. This is nothing but AST, this is stirrups. Okay, I'll be finding to avoid the bending of this beam. Okay, due to load, this will be, the beam will bend. Okay, whenever you apply the force on the beam, okay, it will bend. Okay, we are going to find out solution for that. We are going to find out whatever the AST is there, okay, that we calculate. Whatever the stirrups required, we will calculate those things. Okay, apart from that, we will be finding the proper dimensions of a beam to avoid the deflection. Deflection is nothing but whatever the sagging occurs. Okay, to avoid that one, we will be providing these reinforcements. Okay, so we'll start with the problem. Okay, given data, he has given these many data. Okay, so here what I will do, okay, first I have already written the given data, that is step 1, and next step 2 will be, okay, I will be writing step 2. Step 2 is nothing but, here I will be finding the dimensions of the beam. Dimensions of the beam. Okay, especially in this, generally you might have seen the buildings are provided with a wall thickness of 9 inch. Generally will be having the wall of thickness 9 inch. Okay, even you can check in your home. Okay, if it is constructed after 95 2000, that is in the 21st century, okay, the thickness of wall we have used, the exterior wall we have used is equal to 9 inch. Okay, that will be equal to 230 mm. Okay, so here it mainly depends on the drawing. I think you might have done the building planning and drawing. Okay, in that we have the wall thickness of 230 mm, exterior walls, interior walls maybe of 115 or 110 mm, whatever. Okay, so I'll be taking the small b is equal to 230 mm. Okay, that is nothing but the breadth of this beam. Whatever b is there, b I am taking the 230 mm because of the wall thickness which is provided, so that there should not be any projection. Okay, the beam should flush with the, okay, whatever the wall thickness is there, beam should be in line with the wall. Okay, that's why I am taking the, whatever the width of wall is there, okay, I am taking the width of beam is equal to 230. Okay, the next step is I need to find out the depth of beam. Here what I will do, we have some guidelines. So here we have some guidelines, as I said. Okay, so mainly L by, it depends on the L by D ratio. Whatever the span is there, based on the span we will be having the ratio, that is L by D. Okay, generally for span of beam 0 to 5 meter, if loading is very light means less than 50 kilonewton per meter, in that case, okay, I'll be taking 15. 0 to 5 meter, okay, heavy load is there, in that case you may take 12. Okay, and 5 to 10 meter light loading as well as heavy loading, in that case you'll be taking L by D ratio of 10. Okay, or otherwise even for 0 to 5 meter, if it is of light loading, okay, maximum you can take this much of value. For example, 0 to 5 meter is there, length is light loading is there, in that case I may take 12 also, it is left to you. Okay, to make the section quite economical, you may go for the higher L by D ratio, or if you want to be safe in the design, in that case, okay, if you don't want to repeat the problem, or if you don't want to repeat the procedure, okay, if it fails in the deflection, in that case you go for the safer side. Okay, so I'll be finding the depth here. Okay, L by small d is equal to, I am taking 12. Okay, for better safety I'll be taking 12. Okay, so d is equal to L by 12. You know the length of beam. L is equal to how much? This is 5000 mm. This is the length of this beam, and I am taking 12, that is L by D is 12. Okay, so I got 410.6 mm. The depth of beam required is equal to how much? Small d is equal to 410.6. okay, I'll increase it by another 10 mm. okay, I'll be making it round off on higher side. Okay, and I am taking d dash, that is if you provide here, if you provide the reinforcement something, okay, there is a effective cover, that is d dash. Okay, from here to here it is small d, and from here to here it is d dash. Okay, d plus d dash, you will be getting how much? The capital D. So d dash will be d dash, I will be taking how much? D dash is equal to 30 mm. Okay, I may take d dash of 30 to 50 mm for beams. So capital D will be equal to how much? D plus d dash, that is equal to 420 plus 30. Okay, total it is 450 mm. Total depth of capital D of beam is equal to 450 mm. Okay, now to calculate the bending moment and shear force, all we required is the effective span. Okay, here in the previous figure we got the clear span of 5 meter. Okay, suppose I'll draw here it is. If it is a span of beam, these are the two supports, either it may be a wall or column, whatever it may be. Whatever the distance between two supports, we call it as the clear span, and the center of the supports, okay, we call it as effective span. Okay, it is L is equal to 5 meter, and L effective need to be calculated. Okay, mainly the L effective is calculated based on two criteria. First one is L effective is equal to clear span, this one, plus whatever the support is there, we call it as support width is equal to, I'll be taking it as S. Okay, half of the width of support, okay, and half of the width of support, that is S by 2, S by 2. Or second criteria, L effective is equal to clear span plus whatever the D effective D is there, that is, okay, generally it bending moments at from the center of the support, or it may be at half of the D. In that case it will be D by 2 plus D by 2. Okay, whatever the failure action occurs, it will be at an angle of 45 degree. Obviously you will be taking D by 2 or D by 2. If support width is given in the problem, okay, you can go for this, or otherwise I will be taking this one. Okay, especially in this problem, present problem, we don't have any width of support, so I'll be calculating L effective is equal to clear span plus D by 2 plus D by 2. So clear span is how much? 5 meter, that is 5000. Small d is 420 divided by 2 plus 420 by 2. So it is equal to 5420 mm. Okay, mainly this is for calculation of, okay, this is mainly done for the calculation of bending moment. This will be equal to 5.42 meter. Okay, so this is your second step, that is calculation of the dimensions. So B we have taken 230 mm, small d we got 420 mm, capital D we got 450 mm. Okay, generally everywhere we will be considering the small d itself, but only for the calculation of load I will be taking, or only for the calculation of self weight of the beam. Okay, you are not supposed to neglect the weight of cover. So that's why at one location while calculating, this capital D will be used. Okay, so this one is equal to 5.5420 or is equal to 5.42 meter. Okay, these are the dimensions of the beam. Okay, once if it is fixed, we will be going for the next step, step 3, that is load calculation. Then I can, if you calculate load and span, easily you can find out the bending moment as well as shear force. Okay, before that I'll be drawing the figure of that beam. So this is the figure, that is width is 230 mm. And depth is here I'll be writing depth here. This is overall, it is 450 mm. The span of beam is 5 meter. Okay, when the live load is given in kilonewton per meter, that's why what I will do, I will be considering only 1 meter length of beam. Okay, for load calculation I will be considering only 1 meter length of beam, because I am writing the value in kilonewton per meter. Whatever the load at this portion is is for 1 meter. Okay, whatever the live load is given in this problem is 10 kilonewton per meter. For 1 meter we need to calculate, because live load is in the UDL, the form of UDL. Now here also I'll be calculating the dead load in the form of UDL. Okay, it is equal to breadth, depth into density of the concrete. Okay, generally you might have seen, okay, if it is length I am not taking because it is equal to 1. So here what I will do, I'll be writing breadth is equal to 0.23 because all are in meter, depth 0.45 into density of concrete, because I am writing kilonewton per meter cube. Density of RC, reinforced concrete, is equal to 0.23 into 4.45 into density of concrete. Okay, here when you calculate, what will be the answer? It is around 2.58 kilonewton per meter. This is the weight of this beam for 1 meter length. Okay, we will calculate it once again. 0.23 into 0.45 into 25. Okay, it will be 2.5875 kilonewton per meter. Okay, here what I will do, here when you calculate this one, okay, this will be the dead load on the beam. Now I will calculate the live load on the beam. Okay, live load is equal to, it is already given, that is already given in the problem, that is working live load of 10 kilonewton per meter. Together how much you got? Total it will be equal to 12.58 kilonewton per meter. This is the load which is acting on the beam, okay, including its self weight as well as the live load. Okay, so I will be writing it as W. Okay, so whenever you design, okay, it should be, design should be done for the factored load or the design load. Okay, so it will be called as WU. It is 1.5 times the W, 1.5 into 12.58. okay, this will be equal to how much? When you calculate 1 point, that is 12.52 into 58 into 1.5, this will be equal to 18.87 kilonewton per meter. Okay, this is your the live load, factored live load acting on the beam. Now here I'll draw this one. That is next step. I think step 4, that is calculation of bending moment and shear force. Okay, in that, okay, we'll be writing before calculation of bending moment and shear force. First I need to draw the diagram of a beam, or how exactly the beam is. This is the beam. This is the UDL, or factored load acting on the section. It is nothing but WU, and the span of beam, this is L effective, need to be calculated, need to be taken into consideration. Here we have calculated L effective 5.42, WU we have calculated it is 18.87. so I'll be writing WU is equal to 18.87 and L effective is equal to 5.42. It is kilonewton per meter and it is in meter. Next, what I will do, I will be calculating bending moment and shear force. I think you might have known about the simply supported beam. Okay, so bending moment, or I will be writing MU and VU instead of BM. MU is equal to WU L effective square divided by 8, and VU is equal to WU L effective by L effective by 2, WL square by 8, WL by 2. Okay, I am writing in a different way. Okay, so here it is equal to, so WU is nothing but 18.87 into L effective 5.42 square divided by 8. This will be equal to how much? When we calculate, we got 69.30 kilonewton meter. Okay, this is in WU, kilonewton per meter into meter square. Okay, you will be getting kilonewton per meter. And when it comes to WU, L effective 18.87 into, this is in kilonewton per meter, L effective 5.42 in meter divided by 2. Okay, when you calculate this one, you got 51.13 kilonewton. Because meter cancel each other, the shear force will be written as 51.13. Now I'll write the final values. MU is equal to 69.30 kilonewton meter and VU is equal to 51.13 kilonewton. In this way, we'll be finding the calculation of bending moment and shear force. Okay, before going to design, we must know whether it is singly reinforced beam or doubly reinforced beam. I think we have discussed about under reinforced, over reinforced earlier. Okay, in a similar way, we will be discussing on the singly reinforced beam and doubly reinforced beam. Okay, in the next part, before calculation of the reinforcement and stirrups and deflection check, we'll be discussing on what exactly the singly and doubly reinforced beam is. Okay, I think up to this you understood the problem, the design of beam. Okay, these are all we have discussed the 4 steps. Okay, until these many steps, just go through that. Okay, by tomorrow we'll complete. In next video we'll be calculating the reinforcement required to resist the bending, the steel or stirrups required to resist the shear force, as well as sufficient deflection strength of a beam. Okay, and we'll do the detailing also. Okay, before that we'll be discussing on whether this beam is singly reinforced or doubly reinforced, how to justify, how to find out singly and doubly reinforced beam in the next session. Okay, until thank you.